Welcome to the Healing Hour, and if you're new on the scene, this is a talk show where you get to phone in live and ask your host, Tyhson, Banighen, the energy detective, the mystic psychic, I don't know what else you want to call me, but that dude, to answer any questions about dowsing and energy healing, what's in your way, help you get back on track. And of course, my lovely co-host, Kory Varlen, who is a master at astrology, not just that stuff about stars and your sign, but also about where's the moon? What is the moon doing in your horoscope? So we're going to get a latest update on what's happening on planet Earth, and then we're going to open up the lines for you to call in. Don't forget, it's toll-free in North America, 1-866-369-746. You can come on by WhatsApp. It's 1-250-803-2480. There, I got it right. Phew, a lot of things to say to start this show off. So welcome, Kory. What's up?
Well, you sound like what the day's energy is all about, Tyhson. Today we have a beautiful grand, almost like a grand trine, but it's basically a trine, a 120-degree angle between the sun and the moon. The sun's in the sign of Cancer, as everybody who catches our show should know by now. And the moon's in Scorpio, and that creates a real flow for energy to just spiel out and about. And so what basically happens when we have these big trines, especially in the water signs, is that life just really starts to flow. People are more than usually busy at this time today, for instance, it just gives a sense of like, gotta get a lot done, lots of stuff to do today. And people are going on their instincts, and they're just kind of feeling in the moment what has to be done. So that's an interesting little aside. And I don't know if everybody heard the news in the last couple of days that they have detected a wobble in the moon's orbit. And actually, this was detected back in the 17th century. But what it's causing now and will continue to cause in the next decade are massive tidal surges. So people living on the coastlines, because of the moon's wobble, are going to be literally inundated. So it's just something I thought I'd just throw in there to start the show off. Lots of energy today.
That's pretty amazing. I remember in the 70s, I had recurring, I don't know, I guess it would call them nightmares of wherever it was, and being inundated by waves, by tidal waves. So, one part of myself in some dimension knew this. I kept getting the message, get over the mountains, move over on the other side of the mountains.
Yeah, Edgar Casey has predicted as New York is going down, New York will be inundated by massive floods by the end of the century. So, people just have to look what happened with Hurricane Sandy and just the latest, troubles that the Eastern Seaboard's having. So I wouldn't want to be living on the East Coast, especially in New York City. I think it's a good time for people to start planning to get out of there.
Yeah, and on the West Coast too, on St. Andreas Fault, could be slipping at any time, and that includes Vancouver as well. But yeah, I'm glad I'm on the other side of the mountains. I sort of felt like when I was at Hope, it might be the new I can't even say it, seashore. I could maybe dock my ocean-going vessel right there out my front door. But yeah, this is, the world is going through massive changes, and I just came from the Dow where we were talking all about that, and that we're at the beginning a new 128,600 cycle, which started in 2004. This is the rising of the energy on planet Earth. This is our time to get our proverbial SHIT together, both individually and collectively, because then it goes through massive change. So there's 88 calamities in this period of time. I think we're probably trying to see if we can get all 88 calamities done right away. I don't know about you, but every time I turn around, it seems like another calamity. And for those of you out there listening to the show, a calamity is a collective karma of humanity. That Mother Earth, when she needs to clear herself, will go through what we would call a calamity. We call it an act of nature, but it isn't an act of nature. It's actually our own act of our collective unsympathetic or unrational, I don't know what we call it, but our disconnect from Mother Earth and our own nature and the nature of Mother Earth. And therefore, we cause this trauma that needs to be resolved through calamities. So if you want to get out of your calamity in your life, then you need to get into the divine flow, being the one with creator, one with all that is, so that you're in the right place at the right time. So if this makes any sense to you, or this is too woo-woo, and you want to talk about it, there's a toll-free number, 1-866-369-7464. Come and chew us out. Tell us we're full of a bunch of hooey. I don't care. Give
And
us.
you know, one of the affirmations I love to use that I learned about from Louise Hay, one of my wonderful heroines. I discovered her in the 80s. Was one of the affirmations she always suggested people use is the one that says, I am always protected and safe with divine love.
Yes.
Incorporating this concept of divine love and safety, however you want to word it, make it your own. But it's just, it really does set up a neural pathway in your system that does relax you. And anyways, I'm a big fan of Louise Hay's work. Huge fan.
She's amazing, and it led to the Hay Publishing Company and multi-million-dollar industry. And when you talk to the person in charge of that, he was just an accountant across the hall from her, and she invited him into the office and said, I need an accountant. He said, I don't understand what you're doing. And so that was changed his whole life. Wonderful guy. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's the one that's running the whole show for publishers and being published under Hay House. Yeah, she's amazing. What I love about her is, your body is always telling you a message, right?
Yes, always. Every symptom is a message, just like every dream is a message.
Yes. And hi, Linda Bygrass. Good to hear from you. I haven't heard from you a long time. I know you've been going through a lot of change and transformation. Talk about your body sending you messages. And I understand my favorite dog has passed on to the other side, and hopefully you have a new doggy. So why don't you phone in and say hello, 1-866-369-7464. And yeah, and this, Linda comes from a very strong Tibetan Buddhist background. And I don't know if I'm fooling around, but I don't know if there's a Lama on the planet that she hasn't studied with. It's really quite amazing. She really is an inspiration of, if you're going to follow a path, then follow it. Don't mess around. So good to hear from you, Linda. I haven't seen you for years or heard from you, so it's good to see you're back in energy flow. So yeah, I like the idea of being in the right place at the right time, because that is your protection, and it comes from being in the Tao. We call it being in your true nature, or being one with source, or you could call it 0 point, or you could call it getting out your own way, or standing in your truth, or however you want to word it. It's the same thing. Getting out of your human mind consciousness, your fear, your doubt, your shame, your guilt, and all those messy feelings that can get us all torqued out, right?
And one thing I wanted to add there, Tyhson, something that just, as I'm riffing on our conversation here, to stand in your power from an astrology point of view, because astrologers, we track the planetary movements, and we have a pretty good idea what and how it can influence a person. And what I'd like to offer today is something very special. I'd like to go through every zodiac sign and just give these special birth dates associated with each zodiac sign right now, because every zodiac sign is being affected by the celestial harp string, shall we say. And so if you do want to stand in your power, astrology and astrological cycling is a wonderful way to do that, because we can pinpoint down to, as you know, my system, 3 days. So there's the power day, and then there's the day before and after. And so when I give these dates, the day before and the day after will also be activated. So if you're wondering why you're going crazy, why you're feeling like calamity and chaos is all around you, it could be because your particular birthday is being activated. So would you like me to go ahead and start, Tyhson?
Yeah, and a good thing that we're going to do that. Let's start at the beginning. Now, remember, we talked about the 186,000 cycle, and of course there's cycles within cycles within cycles, and now we're one that's becoming aligned with source. So these inner cycles are really, really important that she's talking about. And as you align to your cycle, then you align to that of your family, and then societal, and then planetary, and whatever. So it's,
Yes.
It's all the way up and all the way down is what I'm trying to say. All right, take it away, Kory.
Well, it's just like the peeling of the onion, or going the other way. We're in this huge big onion that keeps expanding all the time. So I'm going to start with the fire signs. I'm going to go through Aries and then Leo and then Sagittarius. So I'm going to do them as groups of fire, earth, air, and water. So all you fire signs, those are the Aries, the Leo, and the Sagittarians.
Are you just talking about, sorry, are you just talking about your signs? We're not talking about moon rising and that, or just
No,
sign?
I'm just going to be talking specifically about the Aries and the Leos and the Sagittarians born on this specific date because
Okay,
they're
got it.
all getting impacted.
All right.
All right, so let's start off with the Aries. April 1st. So if you're born on April 1st or the day before, the day after, you are in a major cleansing and healing period in your life. Absolutely major. If you're a Leo and you're born on August 15th, which means you go back a day, 14th, or go ahead a day to the 16th, you're in a major energy time right now. So all Leos are getting this sense of like, I really need to get my shit together. And I'm not spelling out that word, Tyson. This is powerful stuff. And also for Leos born on August 19th, which means the 18th, 19th, and 20th, you guys are all feeling like femme fatales and Casanovas right now. Like you just want to love everybody.
Love, love, love.
And for Sagittarians born on December the 1st, all of you folks are getting an incredible feeling of deja vu. Like it's like this has all happened before. And you're starting to feel talents and resources you never believed you had. So that's a very interesting energy for Sagittarians, and it's extremely uplifting and hopeful. Now, would you like me to do the earth signs, the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn?
No, I don't care because I'm not included, but yes, that'd be nice.
All right. So for Taurus says the key date is May the 4th. So if you're born on May the 4th or the 3rd or the 5th, your whole life right now is absolutely topsy-turvy. And all of you folks need to do specifically what we're doing today, which is truly live by your instincts and live in the moment. Don't do any long-term planning. If you're born on May the 4th, you can't do any long-term planning. Just forget that. And if you're Virgos born around August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, all of you are kind of in a crisis mode. And I would actually say, don't make any plans as well, because the plans you're making right now may actually backfire on you. You'll certainly have to redo them. And this is absolute, I say this with 100% confidence. Don't make long-term plans if you're born on those dates. And the last sign of the earth signs is Capricorn. And Capricorns have been under a lot of stress actually since 2008 because Pluto entered your sign back in 2008. So many Capricorns have gone through hell and back. And the particular date right now we're focusing on is January 15th. So if you're born between the 14th, 15th, and 16th, your life is totally in chaos right now. But that's a good thing because the chaos is going to take you through the tunnel of transformation.
Wow.
So I'll just stop there because I've just done half the signs, and I'll do the other half as we move through our show today, Tyson.
Yeah, you're going to make me wait. I can tell. Okay, that's really sneaky of you. Okay.
I'm not doing it deliberately. I just need a break.
All right, fine. So it sounds like there's a lot of topsy-turvy stuff going on and major change and transformation for all of those people, all of those particular birthday times that you were talking about. So I'm assuming that this is a recurring cycle for everybody that as it flows through their charts too. So what are the things that are causing this so much chaos in everybody's chart right now, or topsy-turviness?
Okay. Good question. So for the Aries born on April 1st, it's Chiron. And Chiron is the energy of the healer. And Chiron is basically spotlighting all those Aries folks. And for the Tauruses, it's the planet Uranus. Yep. And all astrologers know this, and clients know this. When Uranus is active, it's like walking a tightrope. It's like, one of those photos of Nikola Tesla, getting like, yeah, that's what's happening to the Tauruses out there. Right. So the very strong Uranian transits. And for the Leos, it's all about Mars and Venus, which are the archetypal energies of our sexuality and the way we view ourselves as male and female, or whatever gender you ascribe to. For the Virgos out there, the planet that's affecting you is Jupiter.
Hang on. Hello, welcome to the show, Linda. Hi, how are you?
Oh,
Big question, eh? All right, well, why don't we figure out maybe your power signs for your moon? Have you ever anybody done that for you?
no.
No, is that something you'd like to know?
I think it's Virgo, but I'm not positive.
All right, so we'll figure that out, Chief. So if you want to just tell us the time and place that you were born. Actually, I'm going to give this over to Kory. Kory, can you hear what I'm saying?
Linda, just give me your birthday, please. When were you born?
When were you born?
Okay, I was born in Salem, Oregon.
No, just give me the day first, please. Give me the day, the month, and the year, please.
Okay, July 1951.
I need the day, please.
Pardon?
The day.
What? The day. What's the date of your birth?
The month, the year.
July 23rd.
23rd July
1951.
1951.
Okay. And do you know the time of your birth, Linda?
Yes, 7:19 p.m. Pacific.
Yes. And where were you born?
Oregon.
Okay. So let's just, yeah, it's pretty hot weather down there, isn't it?
No, she's in Are you still in Vancouver or are you in Victoria now? I mean, are you in Victoria still? Linda, are you in Victoria still?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Linda, if you're born on the 23rd of July, 1951, you are a early Leo with a moon in Aries.
Wow. Aries, okay. Aries rising.
No, not rising.
Oh.
She has the moon in Aries.
Okay, the moon's in Aries.
And her rising sign is Capricorn.
Oh, okay, Capricorn. Wow,
Yeah.
that explains it.
Yeah, and you do have a number of energies in the sign of Virgo. I can see why you thought you might have the moon there, but you have the moon in Aries, Linda.
Were you able to hear that? Linda? Earth to Linda.
Pardon?
Were you able to hear what she said?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So now there's 3 power days. You want to know what those 3 power days are?
Yes.
All right.
Please.
Yes, please.
Oh, yes, please. Okay, so Linda, you have to find the last quarter of the moon every month. So find the last quarter, and then you're going to actually count back 3 days. So for you, that's the best way to figure out your power days, is to find the last quarter phase of the moon and then count back 3 days. Does that make sense?
I really don't know how to do that.
Well, most calendars have the cycles of the moon on them. It has the new moon, the full moon, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter.
Right, and how far back do I go?
3 days.
3 days.
So let's, okay, you're really lucky that you phoned in today, because do you know on your birthday this year, you're going to have a full moon?
Wow. No, that's power.
That is really powerful, Linda, which means a lot of things are going to come to fruition for you very quickly after your birthday. Within 3 to 6 months, you're going to see, and again, it isn't always good. It's just like what you've been planting is going to be harvested in the next 3 to 6 months. So, you have to figure out what that means in your life, but there's a real fullness coming into your life in the next 3 to 6 months. So for you, the last quarter phase of the moon will happen on the 31st. So when you find that last quarter moon, you count back 3 days. And those are your power, that's your power cycle every month.
Does that make sense?
So your power cycle this month will start on the 29th. So you'll have a power day on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. Do you understand what I've just told you?
Did you hear, Linda?
Right. I was hearing.
All right, so I'll have her repeat it again.
I absolutely understand.
All right, so I'll repeat it back one more time. So Kory, give it to me one more time and I'll repeat it back to her.
All right. Linda finds the last quarter moon phase.
Find the last quarter moon phase.
On every calendar, most calendars have this. They have the new moon, the full moon. And this is important for all the people who are listening to our show, because Tyhson, as you know, you work with planting and moon cycles, because this is what people need to start following. So you find the new moon, you find the full moon, you find the first quarter, you find the last quarter of the moon. So this lady's power cycle starts 3 days before that last quarter moon.
Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now.
I mean, the other way we can go is just, you know, the other way we can go is start with the new moon, and then we can go 18 days. We can go 18 days from the new moon. So she'd have the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. And that's another way to calculate her power time. But anyways, actually the most important thing that I think you have found out from me today, hopefully, is that you're going to be experiencing a full moon on your birthday. And this happened 19 years ago as well. Do you want to tell us what happened 19 years ago in your life? Because you're going to have a similar experience.
What happened to you 19 years ago in your life?
I have to subtract and figure out what year that was.
Looks like 2000. Let me just check here. It looks like it's 2001.
That's 3 years before I came to do a presentation in Victoria. I think I did it in 2004, I think.
2001. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. It's 2002. Got to get my math right, because I did say 19 years, right? Yeah, 19 years would take us back to 19 years would take us back to 2002. So you had a similar taste. So what's going to happen to you this year around your birthday? You had a similar taste back in 2002.
Well, in 2002, you're starting to have the problems that are manifested in your body now. So wouldn't it be great if in this 19-year-old cycle that you get them all resolved?
So Tyhson, do you know that 2002 resonates for this lady?
Yeah, I knew. I mean, we met around 2004, somewhere in there, when I went to Victoria to do a dowsing workshop.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm telling her is that she's going to have this return energy that's very similar. So right. There's a sort of like a flavor, like a spice, like it could be whatever, you want to think of as a spice, like cumin or sage or pepper, like whatever it is, it's coming back. It could mean, very different things for her now, but it's going to have a similar theme or a flavor.
Yeah, well, a lot of that had to do at her time with a lot of healing that she was in the midst of going through. So I want her to repeat that, to go through that agony all over again. So I was putting out the possibility, well, wouldn't it be great if that was the resolution of all that was coming up in this cycle?
Right.
So Linda, did all what we say make sense to you?
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay. So you asked about you're having kidney problems. So I'm going to move on to that. So you have a primal fear going on, my dear. And you tend to run your life saving for a rainy day. So stop saving. And you're experiencing a considerable sense of vulnerability associated with anxiety, worry, and fears over money. Okay?
That's true.
Okay. There's no sense of well-being, and you are intensely abandonment anxious. You've always worried about that, where you're going to be, what's your housing going to be. Since I've known you, that's something you've always been working on. You have no trust of partnership, commitment, or connection, and you feel alone on your own. You are a product of an intensely anxiety-induced dysfunctional family in which much went wrong, over which you had no control and for which there is no solution. So, doing a session around that, clearing toxic emotions, where we take that out of your signature, out of your energy field, would allow you to heal. So if that makes sense to you, we should spend some time in that. So is it your right
Yes,
kidney?
it makes sense.
Yeah, and I'll go on. I won't spare you all the details. There's 2 more paragraphs. You want me to send it to you? I will. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper, right? So
Right.
is it the right kidney or the left kidney?
I believe it's both of them.
All right. Let me just.
Tyson, may I share something from Louise Hay, because she is so wonderful with these explanations for physical challenges.
Yeah.
Can I share what she talks about with kidney problems?
Sure.
Because it might help Linda. Linda, do you know who Louise Hay is?
Linda, do you know who Louise Hay is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in her book, she has a wonderful book about, healing our bodily difficulties. And she talks about kidney problems relating to criticism and disappointment and failure and shame. And basically, she says it tends to make us react like we're little kids.
I like that. Yeah, this is a much longer explanation. This is my favorite body. It's called Messages from the Body.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in 2 volumes. And it really has to do, the root of most problems, disease and disorder, have to do with our relationship at the family level, believe it or not. A lot of them, usually between 0 and 7, or some can be in the womb or prenatal, some can be past life, but the large majority, in my experience, are really having to do with the family of origin. So,
and I've actually seen, excuse me, Tyson, I've actually seen Linda's chart now. And I know because she has a lot of planets in Virgo. And Virgo is often especially linked to problems with criticism and disappointment and shame.
Yeah, so I'd like to get that cleaned up for her. I mean, she's a long-term friend. We've never really actually did the deeper work. I know that money's been an issue, so she's avoided feeling that she has to pay money to work with this guy named Tyhson. But, let's get this cleaned up. We come up with a payment plan and get you cleaned up, so that this next cycle that comes around is a healing cycle, not a crisis cycle. Anyway, that's my gift to you. We'll get you started and we'll work about the money after the fact. I'm glad I'm disappointed, or I was going to say glad, but I see that you don't have a new dog. I don't know what that's all about, because you loved your other dog, right? And a little doggy would really help you heal. So I don't know what's going on there. Is it because, Linda, you can't have a dog where you are? Linda, can you?
You're the dog, right?
What's that?
I'm just reading what you just said.
Yeah.
No, it's the kidney issue, because I do not think that I could look after a dog. Like, my health is really deteriorated.
Right. Yeah, I get that. The positive side is the little dog will bring you so much love, right? That you can then use to heal as well. So it's sort of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Well, I'm gifting you a free session so we can talk more about that. And if you just want to text me, I think I have your email. I'll just send you a link so you can book a time. Or better yet, you could just text me your latest email to 250-803-2480, and I'll make sure that you have a free session, and we'll take it from there. So any questions about all of what we just overloaded you with, all this stuff about moons and power and kidneys and doggies and Buddhism and all sorts of wonderful things? All right.
Okay,
All right. You're good to go.
I think so.
All right. Bye for
You're
now.
gonna check. My email address is Lydia McGraw.
Yeah, I'm not going to have time to copy it down on the show. So if you could text me, that would be great.
How
250
do I text you?
250-803-2480.
2480.
You got it. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for phoning in.
Tyhson.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. It's always good to talk to old friends, those that you love, and know what they're going through because you've known them for years and years, and to be able to be in a position to offer or to help them in their time of need so that they can help change their lives around, to me, is where I get a lot of satisfaction. And she had the most, her little doggie was something I was totally in love with, her dog. So,
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, the woman called at the appropriate time because she's got a full moon activation on her birthday, which is very, very significant. So things are going to very quickly. I hope they get resolved, but she'll certainly have enough. I mean, the full moon is full light. It's enlightenment, basically. And when you have a full moon on your birthday, it means like things just aren't going to get any clearer than now. It's like this is it for her. If she wants to get this resolved, she needs to do it now.
when's her birthday again?
July 23rd.
Oh, wow. It's really coming up. So we need to get to work.
Absolutely. And she couldn't have called at a better time.
Well, Linda, did you hear that? We really need to get you working in and around the 23rd or as close to that as possible, okay? All right, well, thanks, Linda. That was really timely. And of course, being a good Buddhist lady, you understand cycles and you understand synchronicity, you understand all of that. And I'm sure Champa is looking at your situation, being an astrologer as well. You would probably understand this as well. So please take advantage of the fact I'm giving you a free session.
Yeah, that's really wonderful, Tyhson, that you're doing that. And you know, I saw her chart and I know something about this woman without ever having to meet her because I've seen her cosmic, it's like the x-ray of the soul. And this woman has some major planets in Virgo. And Virgo energy is so susceptible to being criticized. And when I read what Louise Hay said about kidney problems, to me, I would think that's a huge issue for her to be healing on, which is, you know, past times when she's been, you know, criticized and disappointments that have come into her life. This is the time for her to be able to reframe that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah.
So, hopefully you're listening to the show, and the lines are now open toll free in North America, 1-866-369-7464. The number should be on your screens. We're standing by to receive another call. And we know some of you are listening to the show because I said, well, you could phone on during the show. So don't be shy. You know who I'm talking about. So thank you, Linda. And who else wants to be a brave soul? As you can see, Linda gained a lot from that experience, and why not you? All right. So, yeah. So maybe we should go on to
more of the zodiac signs.
Yeah, I want to know all about me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, again, though, I'm only highlighting the certain dates. There's only certain dates within each zodiac sign that gets.
My day may not be that, maybe not be coming up. Oh, no. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to move on to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
All right.
Okay. So the Geminis that are born on May 30th are having kind of a difficult time right now because they're getting a lot of new downloads from the universe. So lots of probably frustration, although Geminis handle frustration quite well. So there's just a lot happening for Geminis born on May 30th or 29th or the 31st. And for Librans, if you're born on October the 4th.
Oh, not me.
Close
so far.
October 4th or the 3rd or the 5th of October, you guys are also getting the effect of Chiron. Chiron is healing your relationships. So all Librans are going through major challenges right now in relationships. And many have lost a loved one in the last, I'd say, 18 months. So the whole sign of Libra is going through this healing effect thanks to Chiron. But the ones that are really on the spotlight right now are the ones born on October 4th and 3rd and 5th.
But I can say being a 12th, a lot of everything you just said, I resonate with. So
Yeah, it's a really tough time for Librans. I have a lot of Libran clients going through very serious health issues right now because of Chiron.
no.
Very serious health issues. And because Libra is attached very closely to Virgo, because it's the next door constellation, there's just people who are Librans often have planets in Virgo, or they have planets in Scorpio because, you know, they're neighbors. And yeah, it's a bit of a tense time. And finally, for Aquarians born on January 31st, you guys are going through major career shifts, like huge career shifts. So if you're born on the 30th of January, the 31st of January, or February 1st, all of you are going through massive rebuilding and creating new foundations in your life. And this is because of Saturn. And Saturn comes by every 28 years and it cleans your clocks. Saturn will come in and it will just say, okay, how you doing? What's your level of satisfaction? And if you don't hit a 7 or above, it cleans you out and makes you start all over. It's just that obvious with Saturn. Saturn does not pull any punches. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. It just says, hey, are you happy? And if you say, well, not really, Saturn says, well, let's do a do-over.
That's right.
That
It's sort of like the lake right now with all the hot weather. The whole lake can turn over, and the cold water comes to the top, and the warm water goes to the bottom. And what was is no longer. It's a big flip.
right. And let's move on to Cancer, because today is July 19th, and we are still in the time of Cancer. And as I mentioned last week, you are the sign par excellence of creating that gorgeous cosmic egg, making everybody in your realm feel safe. So today, if it's your birthday, July 19th, or if you're born on the 18th, which was yesterday, or tomorrow, which is the 20th, it's a truly busy day today. Because as I said at the top of the show, there's this sense of movement and flow today. So we're all busy. So if it's your birthday today, you're particularly busy, and you're particularly blessed if it's your birthday today, because there's nothing you can't accomplish if you set your mind to it. Success and accomplishment is it's just waiting there for you. So that's the sign of Cancer. Shall I do Scorpio, Tyson?
Absolutely.
Well, today the moon is in the very last couple of degrees of Scorpio. So if you are a Scorpio born on November 20th or the 19th or the 21st, today is kind of like a power day for you because the moon is on your sun sign. So there's that congruence between the moon and the sun again. So today will either be, you'll be at the height or you'll be in the pits. With Scorpio, there's nothing in the middle.
Just a lot of emotion.
It's pure on intensity because Scorpio is about passion and obsession. There's no Scorpios that don't fit that bill somehow, some way. So Scorpios today, you have a lot of passion going on. And if you're born on November the 6th, if you're born on the 5th, 6th, or the 7th, you've got the planet Uranus making a very in-your-face kind of energy field for you to notice. So a lot of stuff's changing for Scorpios born on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And last but not least is Pisces. Pisceans born on February the 18th are in the beginning of starting a brand new 12-year cycle. It's because of Jupiter. Jupiter comes home every 12 years. Jupiter's orbit around our solar system is 12 years, which is why we have the Chinese zodiac. You know, the Chinese zodiac is based on Jupiter because every year in the Chinese zodiac is, you know, for one particular animal. So if you're born in the Chinese zodiac, everyone born in the same year has the same vibe. So Pisceans are building and they're planning, and it's a very optimistic time to be a Piscean.
Wow, lots of information.
Yeah.
Lots of information.
I know. I usually most of my clients go unconscious about halfway through this session because I tell them, like, just tape it and listen to it again and again because I do. It's because I'm, you know, what can I say? I'm a teacher and there's just so much to learn and there's so much information to share. and I want to share as much as I can.
Yeah, being a teacher and wanting to share is definitely what I'm all about too. So phone in. You got two teachers that can't help but fill you in on what's happening in your life from a psychic or astrological perspective. And what could be better than that and have some help to get you from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest amount of time. So the lines are now free, 1-866-369-7464, and give us a call.
And I think I've covered all the signs. I think I went, yeah, I think I did. Got the fire and the earth and the air and the water signs. Good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we knew the birthday for Mother Earth and then we'd know what's going on, right?
I don't know about that.
Well, I was just thinking about, we know about all these other cycles, right? We know about the cycle. Well, maybe we do know the Earth cycle in the sense of how long she takes to go around the sun, because and we calculate all the other planets, right, as how they show up. I don't know. It just would be interesting because she will be going through her own cycle just as humans will be, right? So, I mean, I do believe that that all of us are like synapses in the global brain, right? And as we get our shit together, that synapse lights up, and when we work together collectively, then we have a new neural pathways in the global brain. So that's my belief that we're part of the brain of Mother Earth, and I think she could help do with a little bit of help from the brain part, right? If we all got a little bit more conscious. But that's just me seeing the world and our relationship to the Divine Mother and Mother Earth, and how we can maybe co-create, heaven on earth by more waking up and becoming more coherent to her vibrational frequencies as she takes us on this amazing journey through the universe, right?
Oh, Tyhson, I just love what you've just said, because as you've been speaking, the moon has crossed over from the sign of Scorpio into Sagittarius. It has just happened in the last 8 minutes. And what this is doing is it's creating a powerful aspect to the planet Jupiter. And this energy is so valuable because it's about really seeing the largesse, the big picture. That's what Jupiter's all about. And when the moon goes into Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the home sign of Jupiter. Every sign has a ruler, a planetary ruler, and Sagittarians are ruled by Jupiter. Just like if you're a Cancerian, your ruler is the moon. So right now, as we speak, we've got this wonderful, dynamic, energetic, expansive energy of the moon and Jupiter. And the moon is in Sagittarius, giving us the ability now to see the big picture. So what you're saying is just so appropriate.
Yeah, I love the big picture because sometimes, having that sort of eagle eye overview helps us deal with the nitty gritty. It just doesn't look so overwhelming when we're looking down from above. So sometimes having that overview can be really helpful to move through whatever is going on at our level of reality. So, yeah.
And what I was saying earlier about, remember how I was talking about Sagittarians and how those born around December 1st, we're in a very opportunistic period right now because it's bringing forth a lot of past life information. That's because there is something called, well, I don't want to get into the technicalities, but the moon is approaching what's called the south node, her south node. And it's just a very important time in the next, I'd say, 18 hours for all of us to go within and to really invoke our gifts and to ask for them to come forward. Nothing comes unless we, set ourselves down a path towards, what we want. And so I would say today is a day to set your sail, to discover some past life gifts, because that will come to whoever goes down this path in the next 18 hours, because it's just right now so obvious that there's a banquet of gifts and opportunities out there, but we have to put our hands out to receive it.
Yeah, I always say to my clients, if you don't order your pizza and be clear on the toppings, how can you expect that it'll be delivered to your door? And if you didn't order cheese, how can you complain at the door when there isn't cheese on the pizza? And it's
And yes, and if along the way you stop that delivery by saying, "Oh, I don't deserve that. That could never happen," you've
no,
just sent the pizza delivery guy or gal away.
that's right. So be really clear on what you want, be really straightforward, write down what your order is. This comes to relationships too. So if you want a new relationship or a new house or a new car, the more you write it down as if it had already arrived and you're enjoying it, there's more energy for it to manifest into your life. So tell me about the south node and the north node or something. What's happening with the moon when it gets to the south node? Is it sort of turning a corner, so to speak? Is it?
Well, in Vedic astrology, the nodes, and every planet has a node. It's just when we see the planet, when it's sort of what we call crossing over the ecliptic, which is the path that the sun takes around the Earth.
Okay.
Sorry, the ecliptic is the apparent path that the sun takes as it's seemingly moving around the Earth. And so when the moon crosses that imaginary line, we give that a special meaning. And all the planets do this. And the south node in Hindu and Vedic astrology is quite opportunistic, and it's quite favorable because it does have this quality attached to the past about it. And it tends to bring forth energies and opportunities and gifts and people from the past. And so again, watch out, see who shows up in the next 18 hours from your past. I mean, anybody listening to this show today, I'd be curious to hear next week, like who all of a sudden came back into your life, between
Linda
today
just showed up.
tomorrow.
I haven't heard from Linda for a long time.
Yeah, and this is part of the moon as it gets closer to the south node. It brings old loves and like old people and old problems
Oh, no.
and old gifts back into your life. So it's
Does the
really
south
quite
node,
significant.
so can you see doesn't change anything in the sky, the south node, right? It's just an electrical sort of line that it crosses over, like it doesn't, you don't see anything different in the night sky, do you?
No, you won't be seeing anything different, but you'll certainly be feeling different.
You're feeling different. Yeah. The thing I find fascinating is, when we look at astrology, and I do shamanistic astrology, where I was looking for the word last time we were having a session here last week, and I think I can't remember what the name of the astrology that I love, and that's shamanistic astrology, which is our ancestors understood by looking into the night sky and understanding where the planets are and how they moved, right? And understanding that relationship that way from wherever they were on the planet. And then, of course, creating sacred sites, with the rising and the setting of the moon and the rising and setting of the solstice and the equinox, and then charting that out and to make it into, sacred sites or into medicine wheels or standing stones, which is really bringing the heaven to earth and allowing the telluric current to be enlivened with all the solar astrological energy, which then enlivens the plant kingdom and activates all of us living on the planet. It's sort of like it's like creating acupuncture needles. So an acupuncture needle in the meridian line is like a standing stone that's bringing in the cosmic energy into the meridian line of Mother Earth, and then everything on that meridian line gets to benefit because the divine energy is flowing stronger. Anyway, I digress. But I can't help it. But anyway, what I was thinking about is, we always see the sky as, this sort of globe, and we're looking up. But when actual fact, if we were off of planet Earth and looking at what was going on in the solar system, we're spiraling through the heavens. That to me is mind-boggling, right? We're literally like a corkscrew hurtling through time and space like this, right? Going like this. The planet, everything around the sun, and the whole thing is just, on this journey. So it really is spaceship Earth is the correct terminology. We are on a spaceship, on a journey of destination in which we really don't know where we are going, but we are going definitely at an incredible rate. Anyway, that is something that when you see those pictures, I find it really fascinating. Looks like a giant corkscrew, right? There we go. And I don't know how many 1,000 billion miles per hour. I don't know what it is. but we're hurtling through space. But there you are, another digress. So the lines are still open. There is still time to phone in. We got a few more minutes to the end of the half hour because we are half an hour late with the show today. So we'll be back on track next week at the same time, 1 p.m. Pacific. I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come and join us. We're always here to answer all your questions on dowsing, energy healing, letting you know about your moon sign and what is your astrological, what's happening in your life and what's happening on planet Earth. We're looking at the cycles that are impacting us in this time of major personal and planetary transformation. We're never going back.
Yeah, and one thing I'd also like to mention is that in the sky right now, because of the Mars and the Venus conjunction that we just had at the beginning of last week, when Venus and Mars come together as they do, they're in a very unusual alignment with Pluto and Neptune. And not to worry, I'm not talking over anybody's head here when I say that when Mars and Venus get together with Pluto and Neptune, it gives all of us the ability to kind of reconnect with our heart chakra in a way that it won't create any major disruption, and there's no big electrical shocks that are going to come through you. It's just a time to make a really important but calculated realignment with your heart. And I think anybody listening today, because I deal with synchronicity, and when clients are booking sessions with me, I look at the sky and I can almost tell. I don't even have to look at a person's birth chart. I can just look at the sky and I can know why people are calling. And for today, I would just say for all of us listening, there's a real wonderful benefit that we can all derive from just going back into our heart chakras and making some very subtle but powerful realignments with our heart. And I would encourage everyone to have a little conversation or a big conversation with the person that's inside your heart that is desperately seeking to be loved and appreciated. And we can't ever get enough of this, Tyhson. This is so important to do, but especially today, because Mars and Venus are making what we call it's really quite lovely. It's called a finger of fate. It's a very special alignment in the sky. And it happens, it's not that common. And to have both Venus and Mars activating this, to me, just says that we have the power and the ability to do it. And one last comment I'll make here is because Mars and Venus are in Leo, Leo is the sign of, it's kind of like this, it's actually one of the best signs for teaching. Many Leos have an incredible ability to teach and educate because they do it from their hearts. They really are fabulous teachers. And so your heart wants to teach you something today. And so metaphorically, I would just go in there and sit down with your little, mystical heart teacher and have a lovely little, rap session. Do it today, everybody. Do it today.
And if you're listening to this as a podcast and you're saying, what day is she talking about? It is July 19th, 2021 for you on the podcast. So listen to this after the show. What is she talking about? What date? And you'll be scrambling around in the show notes trying to figure it out. So there you are.
Yeah, July 19th. And this won't last much longer. Like again, within this 18-hour window, July 20th, it'll be over by 21st. So really, hopefully people will hear this message. And those, whoever's listening, you're supposed to be listening. That's how we rock and roll here.
Right. And every year listening to this, taking that journey to the inner mountain and sitting with the girl on the top of the mountain in your heart, right, is always worth doing because that's your prime teacher, right, is to be still enough. And it reminds me of a session I had, and we were having a break in the kitchen, and this lady said, yes, just let your ego, that inner child of you, just let it calm down because it thinks it's in control. And she said, why don't you just imagine your higher self being an angel and just your angels reaching down with its wings, and it's just cupping them over the shoulder of your inner child and saying, gee, thank you for doing this. And I just want you to know you don't need to be in control anymore. We've got this. You can be the little child and play. We've got this. I'm your higher self, and we've got this all under control. I love that image. So that's maybe what you'll discover when you're in the inner sanctum and your high heart. You will realize that you can maybe let go of trying to control the show and let your higher self step in and just do it with ease and grace. So there we are. We just about at the top of the hour. And what did you say, Michael? The bottom of the hour, the bottom of the bottom, which means the top of the world for some people and the bottom of the world for the other. So thank you all for Linda for showing up and being brave. We're back same time, same place at the top of the hour next week, which is 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And till then, be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And bye for now.
And we'll be talking about Leos next week.
Oh, Leos, right?
We're coming into the time of Leo.
The kingly lion.
Yes, the king and the queen energy.
Right.
You hardly wait.
Yes.